Warning: this podcast contains vile humor and a plethora of profanity. If you are easily offended, kindly fuck off.
What's up, cunts? You're listening to the Oscar-nominated, Nobel Peace Prize-winning, 5-time World Heavyweight Champion Hawkcast. We're the blasphemous beast delving through the Zimpo and drafting degenerates into the shitlord squad. Nothing is off limits, and no one is safe. What's going on, everyone? I'm Derek the Horse.
And I'm Brock the 8.
This is episode 7. Welcome back, everyone. Feels good to be back. Feels good. We're all in the swing of things. We got the other episode out of the way. I think it was pretty good. Audio could have been better, of course, but we had to use the backup Google Hangouts. This one should be better. But if
still working out some kinks, though.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. The audio again might get fucking ruined, and we have to use the Hangouts again. So we'll see how things play out. We'll see how things play out. But first thing I want to mention is the disclaimer that you heard in the beginning is from a good friend of mine. She has a YouTube channel named Rage After Storm. That's all. It's one word. She's a pretty awesome YouTuber, very up and coming. She's been gaining subscribers like crazy. She is stunningly beautiful. She is a sight for sore eyes. Very, very well spoken. She sounds fucking amazing. Very good British accent or whatever. I'm just playing her up for all you guys, but stay away from her. She's mine. I'm just kidding. She's not mine. But
wow, late claim already, huh?
Right? No, she's not mine. But I will be honest though. I saw an old picture of her, and she was wearing an N7 patch, and a lot of people know how fucking crazy I am about Mass Effect. I really, really enjoy that franchise. So that was like, man,
that's the icing on the cake, huh?
Dude, like, you have no fucking idea. But yeah, so I just wanted to give a big shout out to her. I appreciate that. That's gonna run before every episode because we're pretty fucked up, right? We want to keep the normies out, dude. No normies allowed. Fucking gas them fucking normies. But
Jesus Christ, easy there.
Okay.
Just turn to the Pepe cast, damn.
Is that? That's probably a thing, dude. Now I have to search that. There's a fucking Pepe cast. I think at the very end I should always just put an Alex Jones clip or something.
Yes.
Dude, did you listen to the clip at the end at least?
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but yeah, I listened to it.
It was like a Super Male Vitality commercial between him fucking screaming about some bullshit and then just mumbling. I saw the video, and he's like, he has like a towel on his face, and he's like, oh god, he just sounds disgusting. And without seeing the video, you're like, what the fuck is he doing? It's pretty great.
Oh my god, dude. He's a fucking animal. All right, did you see? Oh shit! Did you see his kid or whatever?
Dude, yes. Oh my god. I recently just saw his kid. His kid's name is Rex. It just you can't make this shit up, dude. Alex Jones' kid, his name is Rex.
Jesus Christ!
Come here, Rex. Come here. And I just picture him I picture Alex Jones' kid. I've heard his voice, but I just picture him just being a mini version of him. Hey, Dad. I'm ready to fight the end of the war.
Oh my god! If he has a daughter, her name's fucking Triceratops or something. Fucking Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus. It's gotta be. It's fucking dude. It's totally Raptor. It's like Rex and Raptor.
Yeah.
Rex and my little girl Raptor.
Oh my god, Raptor Jones. That's a fucking badass name, dude.
Raptor Jones, come here, my little daughter. Yes, Daddy. How you doing? You ready? Are you ready to fight the Unfold War, Rex and Raptor? Yes, Daddy. We're ready. Let's do this. Wait, before we go, make sure you take your Super Male Vitality.
For the women.
especially you, Raptor.
It'll make you grow a nice big old clit dick. It's gonna be great. You can fight the globalists with your clit dick.
Scientifically proven to give you a clit dick up to 2 inches. All right, let's jump into the first story.
I want to see the hand of the thief cut. I want to see adulterers stoned to death. I want to see Sharia law in Europe, and I want to see it in America as well.
This first story comes from Standard.co. London Bridge terror attack. 6 killed and 20 injured after van. And now it says careers, but I think it means Kareems. So, you know, fine. Into pedestrians and terrorists stab people in Borough Market. And, yeah, this is, you guys already know. You guys already know. Who do you think did it? Who do you think, who are the suspects, right?
Buddhists.
It was definitely the Buddhists. They're
Buddhist.
They're tired of people not being peaceful enough, and now they're gonna
fucking enlightened enough.
They're gonna piece people to death, and finally, yeah, Buddhist terrorists are on. It's a fucking no, but seriously, it's kind of shitty that, you know, you just had a terror attack in Manchester where I think 22 people were killed, and from the suicide bombing. And it's fucking retarded that you see the media and especially over there in the UK, they were saying that they were calling this a major incident, and you know, people are ignoring the patterns. People are ignoring the patterns that it's clearly a problem with Islamic terror. Like they don't want to jump to conclusions, but how fucking stupid can you be to act like it's not, you know, it's that. Like, let's fucking, you know, let's call a spade, right? Let's call a spick a spick. Yeah. But
classic.
Seriously. All right, so let me read through this just a little bit so I can, you know, for the people that haven't caught up with this, you can get a little bit of soak this up a little bit. 3 attackers were also shot dead in a horrific attack just after 10 p.m. on Saturday, while a British Transport Police officer is one of the injured. Assistant Met Police Commissioner Mark Rowley revealed the death toll just after 4 a.m. on Sunday as details of the attack began to emerge. 3 attackers were also shot dead at the horrific attack just after 10 p.m. on Saturday, while a British Transport Police officer is one of the injured. Mr. Rowley said police were alerted that a vehicle had run down several pedestrians on London Bridge at 10:08 p.m. before it drove on to the Borough Market. At least 3 attackers then got out and began to stab people, including the on-duty British Transport Police officer who was responding to the initial incident on the bridge. Basically, it just says they were killed after that, after, you know, they did their whole bullshit, and they caught a few people, and now there's a bunch of stuff coming out. Like, there's people that were being interviewed that were saying that, oh, obviously they were saying, yelling things like "for Allah," and there was like footage of people streaming some stuff and laughing about the attacks and saying, you know, Allahu Akbar, and obviously just another terror attack, and it's getting to the point where the British citizens, the people that live in the UK, they're gonna, like, something's got to give. They're gonna get to the point where, like, I think I might have mentioned this in one of my videos when I talked about the Manchester bombing, that there's gonna be innocent bystanders. There's gonna be innocent Muslims that are practicing peacefully that are gonna get caught up in some bullshit because people just are sick and tired of anything. Kind of like, say, when 9/11 happened. Like, there was just, everybody hated Muslims, and it didn't matter if you were peaceful or whatever. People just didn't want to see your fucking face. And it sucks, but at the same time, you know, like, I'm totally against religion. So that means Islam. And look, this is getting out of control. Like, look how this keeps happening. And
this is crazy. It's like they have some secret, like, boys club or something where they're extremely violent. I don't fucking get it. Like, why? Dude, I don't know. I'm done trying to understand them, I guess is what I should say.
I mean, and that's where it's gotten, where it's, yeah, you are, like, I'm done as well. Like, why try to understand these people? These people aren't trying to understand the citizens.
Do you think it's like Islam, the radical Islam, attracts like retarded ass people that want to like kill everyone? Do you think that's what it's like? How the Catholic Church and pedophiles? It's like, do you think the Catholic Church attracts pedophiles, or is it vice versa?
That's that's a very interesting point, because I feel like, say, it's probably both. I feel like since there's a lot of violent people that need some type of outlet, and they know that under Islam that you'll be allowed to express yourself. I think that's definitely a thing, just like you said with Catholicism.
But is there like a secular movement as much as Western countries in the Middle East then? You know? I don't think so. I just assume that like everybody, just fucking absolutely everybody, has varying degrees of Islamic, you know, not radicalism, but, you know, I don't know, degrees of Islam, I guess is what you would say, from moderate to radical. And I guess just radical makes the biggest noise.
Well, I mean, that's what the whole point is, that there's people that are always trying to make excuses for the radicals, you know, the extremists, and they're trying to protect like just all Muslims, right? Because they're saying, oh, it's not all, hashtag not all Muslims, or whatever the fuck. And there's a couple things that piss me off about that, because the Islamic extremists, they're hurting the non-extremists, right? And one thing that people always try to bring up, and it pisses me off to no end, is when they say, oh, well, dude, Christians were just as bad, or they did this, and I'm like, how is that justify anything that's going on? Because first of all, at least the Christians, the modern day Christians, are tame. Yeah, their holy book is full. No, the Holy Bible is filled with garbage and a lot of horrible shit, especially the Old Testament. People will say, "Oh, the New Testament's pretty light." It's really not. People are cherry picking. It's fucking not, dude. Like the New Testament is pretty shit too, and people like to talk about how peaceful Jesus was and stuff. And Jesus says that you should love him more than you should love your own fucking family.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of inconsistencies, and it depends what version of the Bible you get, depends what version of religion you get, depends what version of sect you get. Like, there's so many variations that it's hard to call it like one whole cohesive thing, really.
Well, my whole point is that a lot of people are trying to say that, oh, like, you know, Christianity's cool, but Islam is shit. And what I'm trying to say is that I think it's all shit. Now, Christianity has evolved to a point where people there's no crusades, there's no more witch hunts, you know, the whole Salem witch, all that shit's in the past. Islam right now is still getting a fucking pass. They're still getting a pass. The mayor of London is a Muslim, and he basically calls modern Muslims Uncle Toms. Like, seriously, there's actually a clip of him saying that. I'm gonna pull it up.
We only spoke to people who agree with us. I can tell you, I've spent the last 3 months in this job, 4 months in this job, speaking to all sorts of people, not just leaders, not just organisations, but ordinary rank and file citizens of Muslim faith. And that's what good government's about, is engaging with all stakeholders. Now, you can talk about articles in the newspapers about what one organisation may get. The point is that you can't just pick and choose who you speak to. You can't just speak to Uncle Toms. You can't just speak to people who will say what you want them to hear. But I can assure you, and you can speak to government ministers who will tell you the hard time they've got talking to ordinary British citizens of Muslim faith, British groups of Muslim faith, and I can tell you nearly all of them are a critical friend and are willing to say it how it is.
So basically what he's talking about is, you know, when he says Uncle Tom's is, and he's spoken about this before in tweets, he's very vocal about people that are trying to, you know, reassure people that Muslims are not all Muslims are bad, and that people are not, you know, like there's no hint of radicalization with them. And he's like, kind of like how they would call me an Uncle Tom for not being a stereotypical black person. And this guy has basically giving people a pass, and it's fucked up, because I feel like the people of London elected him specifically to prove to themselves that they're not bigots. Like, and I mean, why the fuck would you want to? I mean, why the fuck would you want to elect a Muslim as, and it's not like, obviously that shouldn't be really a big deal, but when you have a guy that's speaking that type of rhetoric, and when you can consider him an apologist, what the fuck are you doing? What do you expect? And it sucks, man. This type of shit is not gonna go away anytime soon, unless the citizens, at a certain point, the people of the UK, or just people in general, are gonna have to wise up, or it's gonna take like some type of bloodbath of the British citizens, or citizens of the UK in general, or just citizens of Western Europe, are gonna have to start, fighting back and doing something, horrific, to where, like I said in the beginning, where innocent bystanders get affected, because like, and I can't understand for the life of me, like, what's the problem? Why there's something even happening? Why Islamic extremism is being defended? There's plenty of imams that have said really fucked up things, that what's happening now is exactly what they want. And then there's people on the far left that will defend this, will defend to their dying breaths. They'll literally like get blown up by these motherfuckers, and it's happened before. We've seen it happen. And, I want to play just one more clip of just a prominent imam. He was in the U.S. and he recently he migrated to the UK with open arms. I want you to hear what he has to say.
If there's homosexual men, the punishment is one of 5 things. One, the easiest one may be chop their head off. That's easy. Second, burn them to death. Third, throw them off a cliff. Fourth, tear down a wall on them so they die under that. Fifth, a combination of the above.
What the hell? Like, you have people like say that, there's obviously some conservatives probably in the United States that would love something like that to happen, but at the same time they know that it can't happen. We have laws, we have rules and regulations. We're living in a modern day society. How are they getting into this? How is this happening? I guess is what I'm trying to say. And like you said in the beginning, that you're done trying to understand these people. And I feel like, say, very soon, these people in the UK, these people in Western Europe, they're going to be done pretty fucking soon too.
Oh, their entire landscape is going to be changed in a couple decades. There won't be a white person around, or any other religion for that matter.
We did mention that briefly in the previous podcast, because we were talking about like you wonder why the alt-right and bullshit like that is propping up, man. Yeah, it's fucking, it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid.
There's an exodus out of the Middle East. It's going to be barren, and then they're going to kick all, what they call the white people or whatever, with any other religion besides Islam probably, and then we're going to populate the Middle East again, and then there'll be peace in the Middle East.
Well, yeah, there you go, man. Problem solved.
And that's when the beast rises, and then wipes out a third of the stars, and then boils a third of the oceans or whatever.
Oh man, I can't wait for that shit, dude. Last thing that I want to mention about this is so at least a solution that a lot of people are kind of looking for, because they're saying that mass immigration obviously is a huge fucking problem. It's hurting, not helping. And there's a guy that I just stumbled upon. His name is Roy Beck, and he has this presentation talking about how mass immigration just does not work. And I want to play just a little excerpt from it. It's 6 minutes, but just to get like maybe the first minute or two, and it's very compelling to why mass immigration, trying to help everybody. It's a nice sentiment, but overall, it's kind of pointless. So I'm going to play this right now.
Some people say that mass immigration into the United States can help reduce world poverty. Is that true? Well, no, it's not. And let me show you why. This gumball represents the 1 million legal immigrants that the United States has taken every year on average since 1990. Now, who in the world deserves our humanitarian compassion? The World Bank has one measure of the desperately poor of the world. They make less than $2 a day. And how many people make less than $2 a day in the world? Well, let's start with Africa. In Africa alone, there are 650 million people who make less than $2 a day. 650 million. And in India, another 890 million people, desperately poor. China adds another 480 million people, making less than $2 a day. And unfortunately, the rest of Asia has a heartbreaking 810 million people who the World Bank says make less than $2 a day. And finally, there's 105 million of Latin America's population that are desperately poor. All told, the World Bank says there are 3 billion people in the world, 3 billion people who are desperately poor, making less than $2 a day. That's 3,000 gumballs. And every year, we take 1 million and suggest that we've somehow made a humanitarian difference. Of course, we don't pull our immigrants from these desperately poor populations, do we? These people are too poor, too sick, too disconnected to make it here as immigrants. We tend to pull our immigrants out of the better off poor of the world. And Mexico tends to define the type of immigrant that we bring here because the plurality of people come from Mexico. And Mexico is poor. How many people in the world live in countries that have average incomes lower than that of Mexico? And the World Bank tells us that that number is these 3 billion plus another 2.6 billion people. 5.6 billion people in the world who live in countries with average incomes below that of Mexico. That's 5,600 gumballs. And so what is it that the elites are telling us? They're telling us that when we take this 1 million immigrants, that we somehow or another are tackling world poverty. And we have to do it regardless of the effect on our unemployed, the working poor, the most vulnerable members of our society, regardless of the effect on our natural resources.
But yeah, the problem's very systemic and deeper than just that. But I mean, you shouldn't have a Malthusian outlook and say, well, I shouldn't help any of those people then because everyone else is poor. Like, you should still help people, but I know the point that he's getting at. Yeah,
we'll see. Like
the argument that he's trying to make a fallacy of is I get it. Yeah.
Well, see, but that's my point is, and why I even brought this up is there has to be a better way. There has to be a better solution where, you know, obviously, like I said, we shouldn't help people. I said, like, we shouldn't help them in this way. This is not the way to go. Just trying to import people into these places that are already kind of unsustainable themselves. Like, we have problems of our own, right? We have things.
Yeah.
And
totally.
the whole thing is, we need to find a better way than just to import a bunch of people, especially since, you know, on the grand scale, we're hardly helping anybody, you know? So that's kind of like why I brought that up, just showing you the numbers of how little of a difference we're actually making. And, you know, some people will say, oh, just saving like one person will makes all the difference. And in the grand scheme of things, I think that's kind of bullshit. I think that people,
even the poorest people in America are like better off than like 80% of the world anyways.
I mean, really, that's absolutely true, especially all things considered, because a lot of people that are poor in the United States or that are homeless, it's especially, you know, that they're just very less fortunate. It's because there's some type of issue with them, maybe health, mental health, especially because when you really think about it, if you are really poor, it's very easy to be taken care of. It's very easy to be taken care of. If it's very
programs
easy.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shelters, there's a lot of things. People can really go out of your way to help if you actually seek it out, if you actually know where to go or what to do. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know what to do, and they just kind of suffer. And I think we're stuck in that clusterfuck. And the whole thing is, it's just like, hey, a lot of people have a lot of issues. We need to figure out what to do to take care of our citizens. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people elected Trump, because they're like, oh, he doesn't give a fuck about mass immigration. He wants to take care of the United States. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. We'll see what leads to that. Because I mean, to be honest, yeah, dude, when you're seeing stuff like this mass immigration, you're seeing that people, like, say, especially when we're talking about people of the Islamic faith, when you're seeing all these people pour in, and you're seeing that there's a handful of people that absolutely do not want to respect modern civilization or the Western culture, it becomes an issue, and it becomes that issue to where stupid and fucked up people ruin things for good people. That's like that happens with almost everything you can think of, as far as like, say, you know, like owning a firearm. Why is owning a firearm bad? It's because shitty people will do fucked up things with it, and now people that are good, which is I'd say the majority of people, can't have them in most places because, you know, just that small fraction of shitty people. And that's what you're seeing with Islamic terrorism. There's a small fraction of these terrorists that are killing a bunch of people, and then they're ruining it for other immigrants, and they're ruining it for other Muslims that are just trying to live their lives. And that's the unfortunate, that's life. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But that's how things work here. We get things banned all the time because just a fraction of shitty people fucking it up for everybody. And when people realize that shit, when they actually think about it in the grand scheme, instead of just living in their own little bubble and acting like, and most of these people that they claim that they care so much about Muslims and immigrants, but they wouldn't, if somebody was like, hey, take in this immigrant into your home, they would be like, fuck off. You know, like they're just all virtue signaling. Like they don't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. These virtue signaling motherfuckers, like they're just talking and blowing air out their ass, dude. It's ridiculous. And the people that have to suffer and that are losing, families and a lot of the shit, they're the ones that we need to cater to now. Like they're the ones that, they need justice. They need fucking results, because just imagine if that shit happened to me in our backyard, if somebody I know got blown up by a terrorist, I don't know, man. I might fucking be one of those people that, like, oh, where's the militia? Where's the fucking militia? Let's join this shit and let's go snuff out some fucking terrorists, man, because I don't know, that shit's just maddening to me, dude.
I'd be very curious how that plays out, again, especially with, right-wing NRA card holding members around here. Like, we seem very close to our guns in America, so I don't know. I just keep waiting for a military coup or whatever, but it never happens. So yeah, we'll probably light up some buildings, send out some Instagram, some hashtags, and then we'll fucking wait for the next attack probably. And then we'll wonder how could this happen again?
Dude, that's so fucked up to say, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
Happens every time. You know why? Because these fucking normies, they think they're doing something or whatever. Oh, I feel sorry for the victims. My thoughts and prayers go out. My thoughts and prayers, they're going to heal everything. And fucking nothing's going to get done.
It's so fucked, man. Like, I don't even want to do it. Like, I would say, with that being said, seriously, like,
my thoughts and prayers go out to you.
I mean, it's fucked up. It's fucked up to say. I mean, at least my obviously my prayers don't go out. I'm not a praying man, but I really do sympathize. I can't empathize because I don't know what it feels like to have somebody close to me fucking just stabbed and blown up or run over by cars and shit. But I can only imagine if that shit came over here, and if I knew something, and I know some stuff has happened before, like there was an Orlando shooting, and there was a San Bernardino, which is actually like about 30, 40 miles from us or something. And there was a shooting over there and stuff. But I can only imagine. And I hope that I seriously hope that the citizens at a certain point, that whole like, oh, how we move past this is we continue living our lives as if it's normal. I really hope that's not a thing anymore. I really hope very soon that they're like, no, fuck that. We're angry. Something needs to be done, and we're not going to shut the fuck up until something's done.
Cash, cash, cashity cash. Cash, cash. Cash, cash, cashity cash. Cash, cash. Don't you wish you had a buttload? Cash.
So now we're going to lighten things up a little bit because that last segment was very heavy. And I want to briefly mention the phenomenon of Covfefe. If you haven't heard of Covfefe, Donald Trump, a few nights ago, he tweeted out something, and he made a typo, and we're assuming he was probably fucking drunk or who knows, he just wasn't paying attention, and he probably, assuming he's drunk because that thing stayed up all night. The tweet says, despite the constant negative press, Covfefe. And basically, I'm pretty sure that Covfefe was supposed to be coverage, and it was just a fucking massive thing, and it blew up, right? It became an instant meme. I thought it was pretty funny the night of, but you could tell, like, just a little bit of a typo is not gonna transcend the much past like a day. It's gonna be a dead meme within a day, because it was just a little poke fun at the president. Haha, we can all laugh and have a good time. And some interesting shit came from it. There was a post that I can only imagine came from 4chan, and what it shows is, like, people were trying to dissect what Covfefe meant, and what they did was they used the periodic table with Covfefe, like the COVFEFE, and they used the numbers on the periodic table, like it says 27, 23, 26, 26. They put those numbers together, and then they entered it into Google search, and what came up was an image of a green toad, essentially a frog, right? And then it kind of led to Pepe, and basically that's what people are saying. It was code for Pepe. And the whole phenomenon with Pepe and Trump and all that stupid bullshit. How even Hillary Clinton mentioned that Pepe is a symbol of the hate symbol of the alt-right or some bullshit. And it was just like full circle. It was hilarious how this thing got constructed. It's just like what the fuck? And people are calling it meme magic. This is meme magic. This is the power of the memes. Like, this is what that could come. Yeah, and I was like blown away by that shit. If you look at what's highlighted in the red box, it shows that, it says green toad, and you can see that the number is attached to it. And, the whole thing is that obviously there's like a whole, confirmation bias thing, and it's supposed to be a joke. Like, it's not supposed to be taken like seriously in any stretch of the imagination. It's just like really funny how this can, like, oh, this is the code of Covfefe.
This is fucking serious, dude. This is the prophecy of Keck.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
it's
definitely
irrefutable.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's exactly
fucking hilarious. So, what do you think? So this tweet stayed up all night.
Yeah, it stayed up all night, and then Trump in the morning he deleted it. But he also said that he tweeted out afterwards saying, like, "Oh, can anybody find the real meaning to Covfefe?" Like, he just he just poked fun at it too, because it was just like a silly moment, and I think it was one of those moments where the country pretty much came together, because it was stupid and silly on each side. Each side can just poke fun at it, except for a couple of assholes. Like, if you saw the replies under the initial tweet, there's a couple of fucking bleeding heart dumbass liberals just shitting on him for a fucking typo. Like, oh, excuse me. I guess now that he's the fucking president, like, he can't make a mistake. Jesus Christ. Like, it was so ridiculous how some people were reacting to that. And
the first time I heard about this is it was a couple days, and then I checked my feed, and then it was a Urban Dictionary of Covfefe, and it said what you press when you try to spell coverage, but your hands aren't big enough to reach the words, the letters.
I saw that.
I'm like, what the fuck is this Covfefe from? What does this have to do with it? And then I figured out what it was. But I want to know what the hell he's drinking. What do you think Donald Trump drinks? Do you think he's a whiskey guy? He's just like a vodka because he's like a day drinking guy. Like,
honestly, I feel like he's like a old English guy, or Mickey's, or like
just a straight up 40s dude.
Yeah, still reserve. I feel like he's.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Shit. That's like what the poor man's idea of a rich drink is. So.
One for my homies, and he just fucking pops that shit open.
Yeah. So do you think this was like he was typing this up on the toilet and he just had like a mini aneurysm while he was typing coverage, or do you think this was like a staffer like, give me your fucking phone, Trump?
No,
real quick.
Definitely not. I feel like it was him. I feel like it was something that he tweeted out probably before he went to sleep. And he didn't check it, like he didn't even get to see the replies or anything because it was up the entire time. I think that in Trump, he's arrogant. he would never let anybody tweet out in his behalf. Like say, obviously, I know Hillary Clinton for a fact is not tweeting her shit out. Trump, the way that he does this shit, and you know he would never let anybody speak on his behalf. And so he fell asleep, and people saw it, and they were probably like, "Fuck." And then we can't disturb the president. He's probably like, "Do not call me while I'm sleeping unless there is a terror attack." And then like obviously
you're a loser. Good night.
And basically that's what happened, right? That's what happened. And now some people thought that maybe he did have an aneurysm or something and he fucking died, right? Because especially since it was up so long, and then there was people tweeting out like tweeting out pictures of Pence, like with just all with electric with like, you know, electricity all around him, like it's time. Yeah. Like people were like, it's finally his time has come. It was so funny, looking like fucking Raiden and shit. Look, I love Pence memes so much, man. Like they're just so ridiculous.
They're great.
Yeah,
that's really the only thing keeping Trump from impeached is that having someone like Pence be next in line.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing that there's people that are talking about it. There's DNC. Some people are actually talking about, oh, we should start the process of impeachment. And I'm like, what? Wow, you guys, you sure you want to do that? You know, that sounds fucking retarded.
You're raiding Pence on your ass.
Hell yeah, dude! It has begun. Like it's gonna be fucking a shit show. But I don't even know if Trump's done anything completely like worth or that warrants impeachment. I feel like, say, people see, this is what I think about, especially people that are very left leaning. They tend to forget they've lived under Obama for so long, for 8 years. They tend to forget that, you know, before that we had a conservative president for 8 years, and there was a lot of conservative policies and a lot of stuff that was implemented around that time. And they're calling, like, say, Trump like a tyrant and all this bullshit that I hate that term. Like stuff that I used to kind of, you know, back when I listened to Alex Jones, like say 6 years ago, I'm like, oh yeah, tyranny, man, this is fucked up. And then when I think about it, I'm like, oh wow, no, we have a pretty good. It's kind of stupid to call any fucking president a tyrant. You know, it's
the same bullshit, different face, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's not like you can call him a puppet, sure, but like a fucking tyrant, like we don't live in a tyranny. We don't live in a fucking tyranny. But what I'm saying is that these people are acting like he's like a fucking enemy that needs to be vanquished when he's just a conservative president or somebody that's more way more on the right than they would like, and they fucking hate it. And I'm like, okay, I understand that you don't like it. I totally get that. But impeachment is none of that shit is on the grounds of impeachment, in my opinion. Now, I know that's why the media and everybody keeps going after him and keep poking that whole that Russia story. And I saw something saying that CNN of all people, because CNN fucking goes after Trump quite a bit. You know, they become very they're not really centrist as they used to be like a long time ago. And they were saying that, oh, Comey was going after false leads. Like he knew that some leads were false, and he was still kind of like trying to stir the pot, you know. And I feel like that was one of the reasons why he got fucking fired, because Trump says that in an interview, Trump said that, oh, he knows that the allegations are false, especially he says, so when you're being investigated, they give you a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork coming your way, and I didn't get anything, so I know that they're not looking into me. And that to me says that, like, oh, okay, obviously this motherfucker has been investigated plenty of times to know how things go. And he's basically saying that, like, no, the proper procedures aren't going on. This is they're just blowing smoke up your asses. And I feel like it's more leaning towards that way. I wouldn't say it's obvious, but I feel like they're having this type of ties to Putin and Russia. It sounds so fucking silly, 80s Red Dawn shit, man. Like Red Scare. We gotta make them the enemy again, and it's fucking crazy.
Wolverines. Right? Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I can't speak on it because I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure there's media hyperbole all around about it, and you know, I wouldn't doubt it that he's in collusion of some sort with Russia, you know, but I can't even talk about it because I haven't read up on it. But yeah, there's got to be definitive proof or whatever. And what does that matter? Like, don't you want to be on good terms with Russia, with like the next superpower of the world?
Well, that's the whole problem, that it's like if they're working together There's nothing wrong with that. The whole thing that they're talking about is some type of backdoor deals and secret bullshit and some possible espionage and all this cute, sexy shit. You know, these nice stories that make for good headlines. And it's just so fucking crazy. I'm like, it's just as crazy as when everybody was saying, hey, Obama is a Muslim and he's born in fucking Kenya and all this shit that I'm like, show me the fucking proof, man, and then let's go somewhere. Stop like just
now
stop
it's the
fucking
other way.
Yeah, so I'm like, cool, this is awesome. Conspiracy theory across the board.
Yeah, first you could tell because their Call of Duty games, you know, with Obama will be like Muzzies, and then now it's going to be like Russians, you know.
Right.
It's just who's the next bad guy of the week, you know, for a few decades.
Full fucking circle, man. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
But last thing that I want to mention about the Covfefe, man, because I have to say this, right? I have to speak about normies for a second because they don't know how to handle memes, right? And so Covfefe was something that was obviously, like I said, probably a day lifespan. Dies, had a good chuckle, haha. But then normies, they don't understand that. They think that this shit is like cool as fuck, and we need to really do something about it. And you see it transcend into reality. When it's really just supposed to stay on the fucking internet. And what I'm talking about is there are 21 states, 21, keep in mind, we only have 50, 21 states have claimed Covfefe license plates. So you're going to see some fucking cunt or some cunts driving around in their own states with a Covfefe license plate. Like, I'm like,
already?
Yes, dude. Like, is it
That's
really
insane? Is
it really that like? This is how you fucking you just massacre, you decimate something that was just kind of a cute little chuckle, like haha, that was a good meme, you know? All right, and then all of a sudden they take it to license plate, man, Covfefe. It's so good, bro. Man, the internet's these memes, man, these memes are so good. Like fuck,
holy
these people,
shit,
man.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, you're trying too hard, man.
All right, so yeah,
no.
Fuck Covfefe. I'm never talking about it again, man. I'm sorry for even bringing it up. Fuck.
Our country is so innocent. That's what he said to Bill O'Reilly.
What's crazy about that?
Well, when I said it, they fucking threw me off ABC.
This next segment is about Bill Maher. You guys know Bill Maher. He has this show Real Time with Bill Maher on HBO. He's had it for a really long time. That fucking Jewy mummy looking dude. I don't know. He looks like clay a little bit, but like he looks like a nose with like I don't even know. He just
hair.
He looks like Beethoven with a Jew nose. I don't know.
Jewtoven?
Jewtoven. Bill Maher is in hot water because in his latest show at Real Time, he cracked a joke and he said house nigga, and people did not take well to it. And I'm going to play the clip of him so you guys can get a little bit of context.
You're welcome. We'd love to have you work in the fields with us. Work in the fields? That's part of that. That's Senator. I'm a house nigga. No, it's
So
I don't know. I don't know, man. That was a soft R, and he put house in front of it.
What the fuck does that mean? I mean,
Jewtoven gets a pass by the rules.
I mean, dude, he's so talented and he has so much money. So I mean, he's.
I know he should have come up with a better joke for being a professional comedian.
I mean, yeah, it was on the fly. It was. Look, here's the thing, like, because I know people are gonna want my opinion on this, and I didn't really, you know, to me, it's not big enough to make a video about it. So I'm glad to talk about it on the podcast. And people would ask me, like, what do I think? And I've seen people tweet at me, and I don't think, because people are like, should he be fired? Me personally, I don't think he should. But if he is, I mean, I understand if he is, but I don't think like it's a huge deal. Already talked about this before. Like my largest video on YouTube is, or my most viewed is Tana Mojo and iDubbbz versus the N-word. And then in that video, I talk about how I don't really care when people use the word nigger as long as, or nigga, as long as you know, they're not using it in a derogatory way. Like don't try to insult me or talk shit, because obviously I'm gonna get mad. Just like if you walk up to me and tell me fuck you cunt or whatever, I'm gonna be like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna have a fucking problem with that. But on the surface, like, I hate that people try to give this fucking word so much power. They try to make it so like crippling, like as if black people can't handle it, like their feels. It's so damaging. And I want to be like, nah, fuck that, man. I'm fucking, dude, I'm not a fucking pussy. If you use these words, if you're using it in a contextual way, if you're using it in a joke, if you're using it to speak, if you're reading or something like that, I'm not gonna fucking be like, oh, well, why would you say that? You can't say that. Only people with dark melanin can say that. So, but overall,
dark melanin,
yeah, like just with a lot of melanin. Excuse me, is what I really meant to say. It's like,
yeah,
if you have,
still, it's not, I don't think people. Do people say that? Like, oh, you have a lot of melanin.
No, that's not what. Of course, it's not what they say. That's not. I think you're too drunk, Brock. Right. Like, what I'm saying is that, like, that's what basically what people are saying. Essentially, that only black people can say. Just basically people that have, you know, a lot of melanin. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, it's a tasteless joke. He definitely could have thought of something much better. If a black person said it, yeah, it would be a good joke, right? You can just purely laugh and nobody would have to worry about shit. But being it, he's some fucking Jewy Beethoven guy. Like, it kind of like people didn't really like that. And
he could have just said, "I worked in the house," and it would have had the same thing, but without causing an uproar.
Yeah, he could have. Oh, he could have been. He was just too. It was too in the moment, and it was way too in the moment for him. And
was his guest black? His guest had to be black.
No, he wasn't at all. If his guest was black, it would have been way worse. It would have been way worse.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it was this guy, this stereotypical conservative white Republican Nebraskan senator or some bullshit like that. And he's like, yeah, you come work in the field. I guess he means the cornfields. And he's like, no, work in the fields. I'm a house nigga. And that's just like, I get it. I get the joke. Honestly, like I said, if it was a black guy, probably would have just went over very well. Probably would have been a very quippy joke. And technically it was, but not for him. And that's what sucks. I mean, that's what sucks. Like, I'm not outraged though, in any stretch of the imagination. People, I know he apologized recently about it, which that's the right thing to do. And, you know, I can forgive something like that much easier than, like, say some people would say, well, what about Kathy Griffin? What she did was kind of a joke and artsy. And my whole thing was that it was completely premeditated. You know, if for the people, you know, I'm sure, you know, I've made 2 videos about what happened with Kathy Griffin. So if anybody is wondering what I'm talking about, and her whole thing with the severed Trump head was premeditated. She apologized, but then she made a press conference playing the victim and all this shit. Now, if Bill Maher did the same thing, then it would be like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, if you apologize and say, you know what, no, I should be able to say nigga this and nigga that, and I'm the victim now, you know, then it would be like, okay, your apology didn't mean shit, and you're a fucking retard because you don't know how to deal with heat. You don't know how to deal with stuff where you got to
backlash. Yeah,
you backlash, and you have to appease the public. Unfortunately, that's just how shit works. Even if you don't believe that even if you believe that you didn't do anything wrong, like when you're in showbiz or when you're a celebrity, you don't have the luxury of integrity. Unfortunately, if you try, you're probably going to be out of a job very soon. Like, intellectual integrity, what I mean specifically, like if you try to go with your gut instinct and what you actually believe, people are probably gonna oust you pretty fucking quick. And he's on HBO, so he's obviously protected in that sense. It's cable, and it's provocative cable. It's the paid shit. So it's just
sexy cable.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I feel like, say he's not gonna get fired.
No,
I really don't I really don't think he should be fired too. It's not national television. But like I said, if he does get fired, fuck him. He's got a good career going as just throw him a couple of shekels and he'll make some masterpieces. Jutovan's got a fucking career for him, man. He's gonna be fine. I'm sure he's good.
He's so goddamn left, dude. Jesus Christ. It's infuriating.
He's super left, but one thing I can at least give him credit for is that he does not discriminate when it comes to religion, like a lot of people on the left do. Like he shits on Islam so much so that there's that infamous clip of Ben Affleck, of fucking Batman, being like, "Oh, it's racist, it's disgusting," just shitting on Islam. And it's like, no, it's not, bitch. It's fucking Islam, man. And like how like a lot of people on the left can't differentiate between the ideology and the people. And Bill Maher's like, no, fuck that, man. Like, fuck Islam. And I applaud him for that, because there's a lot of people on the left that just cannot differentiate. They can't fucking separate the two.
That's true. Yeah, he is very on the other side of the fence on that issue.
He's where fucking liberals are supposed to be. He's like where they're supposed to be. Like, oh yeah, you're free to practice your religion. However, these religions, there's fucking issues with them. He made the documentary Religulous, which I remember being pretty good. I'd have to watch it again and get another opinion on it. But I remember it being pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, it had some good segments, but looking back at now, it's like trying to be edgy for edgy's sake. Like, oh, whoa, you don't believe in God, and whoa.
I don't remember. I remember specifically in that documentary, I think he was talking to I think it was an astronomer that was also a Catholic or something, like a something like that. That's like a huge conflicting thing, like how back in the day a gay Republican was like an oxymoron. Yeah. It was like, what? You can't be gay and Republican. It doesn't make sense. So it was kind of like, oh, you can't be. And I think he brought up that joke as well. And it was really interesting seeing that shit, the cognitive dissonance, where how you can be an astronomer, how you can believe in all of this stuff, but then also believe in the word of God. It's very interesting, and it's
that one. He would also ask him about moral quandaries and stuff, and then lead these pastors and preachers into just some ridiculous scenarios where they would just do some heinous stuff. That was like the best part of the film.
Yeah, I might watch it again. I haven't seen it since it came out. That was fucking Jesus, man. That was a long ass time ago. I think it was like 2010 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. It was around.
It might still be on Netflix. I don't know.
I'll pull up the Netflix. Hey, you want to chill with me, bro? You want to chill with me, man?
Let's do it, dude. Let's religious and chill.
Yeah, religious and chill.
Mail time. The mail's here.
So this is the part of the podcast when we would read emails or whatever, but it turns out we didn't get any. You guys were like, oh, fuck these motherfuckers. And but if you do this time around, we have our Gmail, horseandape@gmail.com. If you want to send us any questions or any comments or anything, any type of fan mail, any type of art,
even
anything.
hate mail. Yeah, even hate mail.
Hate mail would be fucking awesome, dude. We can read that shit out. Send it to there, and we would greatly appreciate that. But what we're gonna do right here is we got some feedback from in the comment section that when we posted on YouTube. So we're gonna read a little bit of some of the comments from there, and then just have a little bit of fun with that. So. All right, so this comment comes from T. Buller. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Buller. I've seen her around a few times. She shit posts in my chats when I live stream every once in a while, and I saw that she's starting to make some videos herself. She's making a lot of videos and gaining some subscribers. And she says, "I would love to be on your podcast if you ever decide to dedicate an entire episode to criticizing Islam. I can bring an interesting perspective to the convo." Refer to her vids, and I saw some of her videos, and she criticizes Islam a lot and feminism and stuff. And she's like she's a brown girl, so she's speaking from like a minority perspective. And yeah, we're probably never gonna have an episode just purely shitting on Islam. But what we can do, like say, if I would have thought about it before, maybe I could have had her on this segment that when we were talking about the latest terrorist attack or something like that, which is something that I've actually thought about doing, like just having, if there's a certain subject comes up, we can just have on somebody like a YouTuber or whatever for that subject or for that segment, and then just go from there. This comment comes from Redhead Avenger, and he says, "Alex Jones is not fucking crazy. All the shit he comes out with has come out to be true." And yeah,
even the interdimensional pedophile vampires. Very true.
Yeah, and I responded because I was even saying I just gave him a quick example. I didn't need to go into it, but I said like the time he said the U.S. troops were getting ready to invade Iran back in 2011. You know, like that was I remember that as a turning point for me where I would pop in and out and listen to Alex Jones every once in a while. He would have some very interesting people on his show, and that was that's what kept me listening. Like there was a guy named Gerald Celente that I really like listening to. There was Webster Griffin Tarpley. There's a few people. I actually even read that guy Mark Dice. He kind of fell off the wagon, but I read a couple of his books and they're really interesting. And he would pop in every once in a while. But all of these people that I mentioned, he pretty much has. They're not there anymore. They all fell off. They all like had a problem with Alex Jones because I think they were all like, say me. They're like, oh, this guy, you know, says a little weird shit, but he seems like he's doing good. And then, you know, the super male vitality and the fucking Berkey water filters or whatever they're called, and the potassium iodide and all this shit. And they're like, dude, fuck this guy. I think they all just like left because they're like, I don't want to be affiliated with this motherfucker. But what I'm saying is that around that time, you know, he said that outrageous claim that, you know, I'm probably freaking people out. I'm probably people prepping, you know, doomsday stuff and all this. Like, oh God, like they're gonna invade Iran, and you know what that means, right? Because Iran is backed by China and Russia. Like they were basically, it was going to be the war of the fucking superpowers. It's going to be another official world war. So people were probably shitting their pants and nothing happened. Me, I thought the claim was outrageous. So I'm like, that sounds stupid. How the fuck really we're going to invade Iran like that? Like knowing what I know or what I knew, that sounded absolutely insane to me. So of course that was just more hot water. I mean, something recently that happened, Pizzagate, obviously, that didn't come true at all. Like he was.
That's the one he apologized for too.
Yeah, that was the one that they, you know, there was going to be some fucking legal trouble probably if he didn't apologize. You know, like he had to like read a statement and being like, "Oh, we fucked up." And yeah, Alex Jones gets a lot of things wrong, obviously, a lot. And but I will say that there are things that he definitely does get right. There's things that I have, like what he would always say, oh, I have the documents. Every once in a while he did have the documents because the documents would come from sources not of his own, where he'd be like, oh, this comes from here. And you're like, it's crazy. It's like, I'm not making this up. Go look it up. And I would be like, all right, bitch, I will look it up. and then I would be like, well, he's fucking right.
Your bluff, Alex Jones.
Look, I would be like, well, he's fucking right. Like there were certain things that like thanks to Alex Jones, I learned about the manifestation of modern day Islamic terrorism, where I learned about the Mujahideen network, and then I learned how it manifested into Al Qaeda, which Al Qaeda kind of manifested into ISIS, you know, like, and I learned about little things like the Muslim Brotherhood. I've learned things from that, like say, and things that are very real, things that people are obviously feeling, things that we covered, and things that I think a lot of people don't know. I think there's a lot of people that are completely ignorant to foreign policy and a lot of things in proxy wars that Alex Jones and some of his, and I mean seriously, like a lot of things that like they would speak about, a lot of people don't even know about, and I can at least give him credit for like he's not bullshitting about that. Like what he's not saying like they're fucking have magic carpets and there's lamps going on and shit. He's not making up crazy conspiracies about that shit. Some other stuff, obviously, he's a complete cunt about, but I at least, like I said, I guess you got to sift through the bullshit to get some good information, and maybe that's not good enough because I know people that still just fucking despise him, especially on things like vaccines, and I get that. I get why some people would be absolutely mad and disavow InfoWars for, you know, kind of like promoting pseudoscience and shit, and you know, so I get it. You know, I get it. But yeah, Alex Jones, probably one of the best memes ever created. I despite what people say, I fucking love the guy. I love that motherfucker.
He's a man and he's coming. He's on fire.
Luna Hula says, I would like my exosuit and pulse rifle in the mail, please. Please disguise it as a box of used pinball machine parts to get it past UK customs. And for people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, in the previous episode, we were briefly talking about how the Green Power Ranger, Jason David Frank, there was assassination attempt on his life, and how I was saying that I would like there to be tighter security in these like type of events, you know, in arenas and stuff. So like Manchester, the Manchester bombing would be prevented, and stupid shit like that would be prevented. And then Brock mentioned that, you know, the whole like freedom versus security thing, where it would be better, you know, just to keep kind of risking it. And I agree for the most part, but I was just mainly just talking about the the big events where there's thousands of people gathering, and how one asshole can waltz in and just start Swiss cheesing everybody. You know, like I would like that to be prevented. And we're saying the middle ground would be to give everybody exosuits and pulse rifles, and then all of a sudden nobody's gonna fuck around, because that's kind of how things are in Texas, right? Like everybody's carrying the gun, and so nobody wants to fuck around because they're gonna get blasted. And so let's take it up a notch. We get some fucking Call of Duty exosuits, and then just I don't know. I guess it just start a huge fucking war of mechs. That'd be kind of cool, though. I mean, you gotta admit that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, if everybody has a exosuit and pulse rifle, then really no one has an exosuit and pulse rifle. You know?
Yeah.
So
but I'd rather have them than not have them, right? You know?
Exactly. You'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
Exactly. Let's make this a reality. So, and remember, if you guys don't remember, Alex Jones, if you donate $10,000 to the Exosuit Project, Alex Jones will hand deliver Super Male Vitality directly to your front door, guaranteed.
Guys, if you could start go on my Kickstarter. We're kickstarting some exosuits and pulse rifles for every American. That'd be great. Anything from 50 cents to at least $5. It'll be great.
$10,000 you donate, and you will get Super Male Vitality delivered to your door. The hell, Brock? Why are you telling them to only donate 25 cents to $5?
It's gonna be the cheapest fucking exosuit.
Right? What is it gonna be? Fucking cardboard?
Pieces of scrap metal.
Okay, somebody, please, if you're listening to this, draw the exosuits, and draw Alex Jones wearing one of the exosuits.
Holding shitty ass exosuit.
Yeah, draw some fucked up exosuit with him holding a bottle of Super Male Vitality or something. Draw him with the exosuit on, the fucked up exosuit, and he has this fucking raging hard on, you know, because it's Super Male Vitality. That'd be fucking amazing.
Man, it's gotta be red as fuck too.
Yeah, right. I forgot about that picture. That's great. This guy Matthew says he was asking about the clip where we transitioned to this segment in the last one that was like this we're supposed to read shit. They were asking if there was iDubbbz at because I used the clip where it says thanks for stopping by to some black guy, and it's actually Chris Raygun, and yeah, somebody corrects him and says it was Chris Raygun. So I was wondering if anybody was going to catch that, and some people did. So it was actually kind of cool to see that some people, they know what the fuck's going on. Got some loyal fucking listeners. That's hot as fuck, man. That's cool. They're almost the same person in my head. I don't know. I don't tread YouTube. It's iRayGunz. I don't know. iRayGunz. Like, God damn it! I think we got another contender for a name of the episode. iRayGunz. I love it, dude. That's fucking awesome. So that's going to do it for episode 7, guys. Thank you for listening. And if you want to keep in touch with us, you can get at my Twitter at @some_blackguy. And Brock, you want to give them your Twitter? I'm at exalted_Simeon. I just got on Twitter, you know, navigating around. I have twatted sometimes, so stay around. You might have some memes, some spicy memes, some not. Maybe I'll get super depressive. Maybe I'll just bring your whole day down. I don't know. Who knows? I think people like that. Sometimes when you're very cynical and nihilistic and you just like just be like, fuck everything and I want to kill myself. I think people like that's what gets it's good crowd pleaser sometimes. Right. I mean, have you seen the nihilist Arby's Twitter? You should yeah, it's great. I love them. It's good. Some good shit, they're like the first person I followed. I mean, you kind of have to, right? It's like a rite of passage. Yeah. But all right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Stay sexy, stay hot, and as always, Papa bless. All right. Cool. Get all super clear. It's like crystal clear. I'm so horny. Oh.